old ladies were lying in bed.
Two old ladies were lying in bed.
One rolled over to the other and said,
What's up, guys? This is Jason, also known as Sergeant Merrill on Xbox Live, and I'm back with our next episode of PsyOps, where we're going to be discussing the topic of firing lanes. Controlling a firing lane is a big part of competitive teamwork, and it's often the key to holding your objectives. Keyword here, guys, teamwork. Because without teamwork and coordination, holding down a firing lane could be little more than an annoyance to the enemy. To define a firing lane, it could be best described as a long line of sight that offers favorable cover and allows you to cut off a significant route that the enemy might use to reach an objective. So this strategy obviously works best when playing objective-based games like Domination, where a team spawn revolves around what objectives they control. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's establish some context. When a domination match begins, the enemy is going to take several routes in an attempt to gain control of the center of the map and capture Bravo, especially on a map like Nuketown, because their success depends on it. If your team is successful in pushing them back to their own flag, you have a couple seconds to pull back and establish a firing lane. Now each map has several advantageous firing lanes, but for this example I had chosen my favorite for this map, which is tucked up right beside the ramp of this loading truck. From here, I have the ability to completely cut off a main route that the enemy would use and force them into areas that my team has already fortified. That's the magic of this strategy, guys. You're funneling the enemy into your team by limiting the routes that they can take. That is the purpose of a firing lane. So now that you know what a firing lane is, now you have to consider your class setup. An SMG and steady aim isn't going to help you here. The job seems simple. Just stop the enemy from coming down your lane. And at first, it is that simple. You're going to get one or two easy kills simply because they were not expecting you to be there. But you can't get cocky. People aren't all stupid, and they will get more and more aggressive in their attempts to rid you of your position. Luckily, between your weapon and your perk choices, there's some helpful tools that you can use to hold your ground. First, I highly recommend either using a G11 or an M16. Holding down this position is going to depend on your ability to constantly win gunfights, and some of these targets are going to be pretty far down range, so you need a weapon that's going to make those shots count. Now for your first tier perk, Flak Jacket Pro is a must, guys. A common reactive behavior for an enemy is to try and force you out with grenades and explosives once they learn that the engagement is stacked in your favor. This perk is going to absorb most of that problem, and it's also going to give you the ability to re-gift some of their presents and throw it back to them, because the Pro version is going to reset timers on the grenades that you've picked up. To top it off, the Pro version is also going to allow you to eat up enemy napalm without taking much damage at all. If you wanted to, you could even call in your own Danger Close napalm on top of you if you feel that you are being overrun. Now for your second perk, I recommend Harden Pro. First, it gives your bullets the extra penetration to slice through whatever cover the enemy may find, and the Pro version will reduce your screen from jumping when you're receiving fire, allowing you to stay on target. It's a brutal perk for maintaining accuracy in the heat of a firefight. And now for your third tier perk, I recommend Tactical Mask Pro because it's great for this situation. Nova Gas, flashbangs, concussion grenades, all of them are going to have little to no effect on you, allowing you to maintain a high awareness level, despite the enemy's best efforts to try and disrupt it and keep you off your lane. Now when you combine all of these things together, you have a beast of a class that can hold down a firing lane come hell or high water. And I think your team is going to thank you for it, because by the time you run out of bullets, you and your team should have cultivated a series of kill streaks that should give you an advantage for the rest of the match. Now, people might call you a camper for using this strategy, and I've ranted on this subject before in my commentaries, but I'm going to detail my opinion right here and lay this to rest. And you guys can go ahead and let me know what you think as well. My idea of camping is someone hiding in a clever corner and waiting for a random passerby. And people get upset because this is not an effective way to contribute to your team or complete an objective. So if campers aren't contributing to the collective effort, what are they doing? And the common answer is that they just don't know how to. So really, they're just trying to get kills wherever they can. Believe me, I know falling victim to that is frustrating, but it's too easy to kill those guys once they've exposed themselves. Now on the other hand, if someone is intelligently limiting your options for approaching an objective, the ball is in your court. It is your responsibility to move them, not their responsibility to stop because what they are doing is too effective. There is no Geneva Conventions in this game. It's the developer's responsibility to make those limitations, and that is what has made Black Ops such an enjoyable experience for me. The developers have taken an active role in balancing the game. This strategy is not taking advantage of an unbalanced aspect of the game. It's just a real-life tactic that works for a reason. So, and you military guys will like this, I want you to lock and load a 20-round magazine, turn your selector level from safe to semi, and watch your lane. This is Sergeant Merrill out here.
I wanna be an airborne ranger.
Live a life of guts and danger.
Live a life of guts and danger.
wanna be a paramedic.
I wanna be a paramedic.